In Korean society, we often hear about the inappropriate behavior of heirs and heiresses of Korea's large conglomerates. Out of such stories, the so-called nut rage incident by the Korean heiress Cho Hyun-a must be the one that caught the most media attention. Now this time, her younger sister and her mother are at the center of a new scandal that has caused public outrage. About a month ago, a revealed audio recording of Cho Hyun-min's overly aggressive behavior has put her under fire. While having a meeting with an advertising company, she flew into a rage and threw water on the employees of the ad company. This incident sparked a series of other stories about her gabjil, or abuse of power. Shortly after the incident, a short video of an elderly lady yelling and pushing workers at a Korean Air hotel construction site were revealed. The woman in the video was Lee Myung Hee, the wife of the Korean Air chairman and mother of the two daughters, who are currently in hot water over power abuse. The mother was taking out her misplaced anger on Korean Air employees. A series of other wrongdoings of the Cho family continue being revealed, among which is the illegal act of importing luxury items through Korean Air airplanes without registering them with the customs office. There are also news reports about an alleged slush fund, and law enforcement is now investigating the family's illegal acts on all fronts. It all started as a seemingly trivial revelation of the young heiress's misconduct. But there is public outcry to address the issue of the conglomerates and their heirs and heiresses' abuse of power in Korean society. Some are concerned about the investigation's negative impact on the Korean economy, but most Koreans believe that this opportunity should be used to prevent the occurrence of similar cases that upset the hardworking, day-to-day Koreans. The current investigation was sparked by one incident of Cho Hyun-min. So I said it was sparked by one incident. So a spark is the noun spark is a very, very small piece of fire. If you hit two stones together, it creates sparks, or metal against concrete very quickly will make sparks. But we use spark when something very small creates something very big. So a small piece of fire will cause a very large fire. So the investigation, which is very big, was sparked by the one incident of her throwing water. Cho Hyun-min's recent behavior has opened the floodgates of more accusations of illegal activity. So again, we talk about this small incident has opened the floodgates. So opening floodgates is a floodgate is kind of a big metal gate, and when something's about to flood, it releases a lot of water. But we use it as an expression when something happens and the floodgates open, a lot more comes out. So this was just one incident, but a lot more things are coming out, like violations of customs, slush funds, and other poor behavior. So when a lot comes from a little, we say open the floodgates. The owner's family's unethical behavior was exposed by employees posting on social media. So I said the owner's family's unethical behavior. So ethics is it means kind of doing things that are right, legal, and moral. But if you're unethical, it's not doing the right thing. It's doing something illegal or doing something wrong, such as stealing or not paying your taxes or doing things that are not the norms of society. So we call it unethical behavior. And posting on social media, just to remind you, SNS is Konglish, and in English we do use social media. Korean Air employees provided anonymous tips to reveal the wrongdoings of the Cho family. Provided an anonymous tip. An anonymous tip is when someone reports a crime or something that is going on that's wrong, but does not want to reveal their identity or their name or where they are. So I understand, Koreans know tip means advice, or it could mean money that you give for service, an additional service like in a restaurant in the United States. But an anonymous tip is something that law enforcement, like police, get to guide them to a crime or a wrongdoing. And when I also said wrongdoing, that's something that someone does wrong, like something illegal or something bad or unethical. We call it a wrongdoing. Koreans are dumbfounded that the Cho family continued to behave badly after the 2014 nut rage incident. So I said Koreans are dumbfounded. To be dumbfounded means you are so shocked or surprised you cannot speak. It's like shocked without words. We call it dumbfounded. And then we referred to the 2014 nut rage incident. So I know Koreans say the peanut rage incident, but in English we say nut rage. And we do that because we tie rage to certain words. It started in the early 1990s in California. There were some traffic incidents where people started to shoot each other with guns on the highways. So we call that road rage. Then later on, as airlines started to cut their budgets and seats got smaller and services were cut from airlines, people started getting very angry on airplanes and started fighting. So we call that air rage. So we have like an air rage incident probably once or twice a month that's on the news. So when this incident happened in 2014, had to deal with the uncooked or unwarmed macadamia nuts, we call it nut rage. So that's what we attach to the incident. Koreans think that the Cho family should have changed their behavior after the previous power abuse incident in 2014. The general consensus is that Korean conglomerates and their families should learn from this incident and stop power abuse. So I mentioned the general consensus. And when we say that, that's like we say the vast majority. Around, if you had that, I would say maybe 70 to 90% of people you're asking. So we say that's the general consensus, most people. The recent events should signal a turning point for the rich and powerful to focus on ending power abuse. So I said the recent events should signal a turning point. A turning point is a time of change. So when you're going one direction or behavior is going one direction, and then an incident like this happens, it should turn for the better. These people of power should kind of take a look in the mirror or look at themselves and say, hey, look, we need to change our behavior because it's not doing anyone any good. So we say a turning point is like a time of change. Thanks to social media, people can expose the wrongdoings of corporations while remaining anonymous. Unethical behavior in companies can be easily exposed with the use of social media. Thank you very much, guys, for downloading, and thanks for telling your friends. We really appreciate it. Bye-bye.